Romanticizing your life is a phrase that I hear all the time. And I know I talked a lot in the last video about aesthetics and how sometimes we get too tied into the aesthetics, but it is typically paired with these aesthetic like morning routines, these beautiful and expensive pieces of like home decor. And there's this idea that a few really well placed candles are going to just magically make your life better. And like, while I love a cozy ambiance as much as the next girl, like, it's not a one size fits all. And I'm gonna keep saying this in probably every video, but there is this really big misconception that you have to buy the next solution. I think the way romanticizing life has been presented can often be really misleading. So before we start, my name's Taylor. I love all things cozy, intentional, mindful, things like that. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. It's really easy to fall into this trap of thinking that in order to feel content, we need to buy something new, whether that is a cute mug, something vintage, maybe a journal, something that's going to just change our lives and make it so much more meaningful. But the truth is, romanticizing your life is not about material things. It's about the way you view the world, specifically your life. There's this quote by Albert Camus that I really like, and I think it fits really well here. And yes, I'm fully aware that I botched his name, and I will not be attempting the French pronunciation. The quote goes, "You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You will never live if you are looking for the meaning of life." And the way that I take this is that if you are constantly on the search for the thing that is going to fix you or your life, or the thing that is going to magically make everything better, you're going to miss out on all of the little things that make life worth living. Like, when I read that, I think of how often we get lost in what happiness looks like instead of what it feels like. And so I think we look to Target and Amazon and places like that instead of to the things that we already have that make our lives special and fun and meaningful. Now, that's not to say I'm saying you should be a minimalist and just get rid of all of your belongings. No, but you should enjoy what you have. So let's talk a little bit about how to do that. So one, I always start here. What does romanticizing your life really mean? At its core, romanticizing your life is about finding the beauty in the everyday. It's choosing to be present, it's choosing to slow down, and it's appreciating the small moments that might otherwise pass you by. The way I like to look at it is, when I think of like an old married couple, I like to think of them sitting in their rocking chairs on the front porch and watching the birds or the cars or whatever, but they're watching. They're not on their phones. They aren't, maybe they're reading a book, but they're still present in that moment. So there are a few different things that play a role here. So we've got mindfulness, gratitude, and intention. Mindfulness is paying attention to what's in front of you instead of rushing to the next thing. You might find that you can't watch a TV show without having food, or you can't eat your food without having an audiobook or a YouTube video or something to watch, and that's because you have not practiced mindfulness. Gratitude is finding joy in what you already have instead of looking for the next thing. So for me, I saved up for a really long time for this chair that I'm sitting on right now, and I absolutely adore it. I sit on it every chance I get. I make it like a special thing because this is something I saved up for a really long time to get. And I'm sure everybody has something in their possession that they're like, I was so excited to get that. What would it be like to actually recognize that every once in a while? Intention in romanticizing is about creating little rituals that can make ordinary moments feel special. For the purpose of this video and just for a definition, intention is doing things with a purpose, with an intent behind them. So again, it's not about creating this Pinterest perfect aesthetic. It is about finding things that you love in your life. So how can we actually romanticize our life without spending more money? I'm so glad you asked. So this is going to look like slowing down and savoring your everyday rituals. For me, this looks like picking out a really cute mug that I already own and making sure that I choose one each morning, and I will make my coffee and I will take the time to actually drink it before starting my day. So what I used to do is I would take a to-go mug and I would just make my coffee in that and I would go, or I would get coffee at Starbucks or whatever coffee shop was on my way to work or school or whatever. And the problem with that is A, spending too much money, and B, it did not feel intentional. It was just part of my day, right? It didn't add anything to my life. But for me, every single morning, I pick out a cute mug from one I already own, and I take time to enjoy it. because I love coffee. To take that a step further, I like to notice everything about it. So I like to notice the smell of it whenever I'm making it. I like to notice the warmth of the mug in my hand because that's something that I think is so cozy. And I really like to notice like the first sip always tastes better than everything else. And I know that sounds dramatic, right? And maybe I'm taking it too seriously, but I also think life is worth taking very seriously. I think that enjoying life is a very serious pursuit, and I think if the worst thing we do in life is taking it a little bit too seriously, I think that's okay. I think it's okay. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee in my cutesy little mugs every morning, and my life is going to feel more full because of that. Now, that's not me saying that you need to run out and buy a cutesy mug, but I'm sure there's something in your life that you love that you're just not paying enough attention to, whether it's the way the birds chirp in the morning, or the way your dog cuddles up with you, or I don't know. Whatever that thing is for you, I urge you to find it. Step number 2 is going to be to engage your senses, and I kind of already touched on that, but the best way to make your life feel richer is to actually experience it. Take the time to notice the way the sunlight streams in through your window in the morning. Maybe you take time to notice the comforting sound of rain. For me, I love the rain, so I always get so excited when it's raining, which is awesome because where I live, it rains like every day. Maybe you're taking time to notice the scent of fresh laundry whenever you're changing it over. Like, you have to do laundry for your life either way. What's it gonna hurt to take a moment to notice how nice it smells and how warm it feels? Bonus points if you can make it a practice to enjoy the things that you actually like. So for me, that's gonna be my cup of coffee and a rainy day. But for you, it might be the warmth of a really sunny day. And you don't need to buy anything new to bring all of this joy into your life. It's already there. You just need to notice it. Number 3 is to romanticize your routines. I love this one. So even the most mundane tasks can be made more enjoyable with just a little bit of intention. This might be putting on music while you cook just to make it a little bit more fun. I like to listen to an audiobook while I'm doing my makeup in the morning. It might be lighting a candle before you journal, like really making this an experience for yourself. Another really fun thing is to like make your bed in the morning and then take a second to appreciate just how cozy it looks. Maybe how excited you are to get back into your bed at the end of the day. So my favorite example of this is something that I saw on TikTok a really long time ago, but the person, and I wish I could remember who it was, but she said that she would put on like old-timey tavern music whenever she's like shutting down her kitchen at the end of the night. So whenever you're cleaning up at the end of the day, turning on tavern music and pretending you are in like a mythical world or a fantasy novel or something, and you were like working at a bar or a tavern or something and shutting down the kitchen and it's closing time and you've got your regulars and they're already filing out. I think that's a really cool way of being like, oh, I can just like make my life what I want it to be. That just sounds so fun. Like, why don't we pretend more as adults? Nothing's stopping you. You've got to do the chore anyway. Might as well have some funky tavern music while you're doing it. These small shifts in how you approach your daily life can completely change the way that it feels to live it. If you've ever watched a Studio Ghibli film, you've probably noticed how they make the most mundane parts of a person's life seem so magical. Whether that's like pouring tea, hanging laundry, cooking. This is the mindset that we're trying to cultivate here. And now you're not going to go through your entire life like a main character living your best life. Everything feels magical. But there's no reason you shouldn't be able to add a little bit of fun, magic, coziness, whatever it is you're going for, into your everyday life. You don't need to have a picture-perfect home or this expensive lifestyle to feel joy. You just have to slow down enough to appreciate what you do have. There is also a way to romanticize the ordinary. So if you're going on a long walk, you can pretend you're the main character in an indie film. You can write yourself a letter about something beautiful that you noticed today. You can be like me and set yourself up a cozy corner and read a book. And before you come at me and say that books are not free, library cards are a thing. It's one of the only free things we still have in this world. But romanticizing your life for the last time, probably not, is not about managing the way that it looks. It's about managing the way that it feels. So if you are constantly rushed and feeling like every single thing you do is a chore, that's about perspective. At the end of the day, romanticizing your life is about choosing to see the beauty that already exists, choosing to enjoy the things that you already have. You don't need new clothes or new decor or a whole new lifestyle. You just have to be present in the one that you have, the one that you've probably spent a lot of money building. So let me know in the comments, how do you romanticize your life? Because I'm looking for some ideas. I want to know the weirdest, the most mundane, everything. Give me your list of things you do to romanticize your life, and even the things that you're about to start doing. And of course, if you liked this video, do not forget to like and subscribe for more content from me. Thanks for watching this far, and I will see you in 2 weeks with my next video. Bye.